And now, from your favorite truck stop, it's snack time.
Do you remember a beautiful young lady who was a friend of ours at the sink? Carla and Tom and I have a friend who she used to work with us at the sink, and then she went back to Minnesota where she goes to school. I miss you, Karen. But Karen wrote us an email at the sink and with a funny well, let's just let Karen tell it. Today's snack, I think I should tell you, is about people that are a little too politically correct for their own good. Now, I think it's great to stand for things, to have values, but there's a point where you just don't step on other people's toes. All right, today's snack we're going to call Overly Politically Correct Boy. Anyway, Karen's friend John and Karen were going to visit their friend Kelsey. Now, Kelsey's a beautiful young lady, and she just moved into a new house. So they wanted to visit Kelsey at her new house. And then they were all going to go to a party and boogie down, people. But there's only one problem. When you go to visit Kelsey, you also have to visit her roommate, overly politically correct boy, and his name is John. All right, but we're going to call him John number 2 because John number 1 is Karen's friend, who's a nice guy. So Karen and John number 1 are starving. They are so hungry. They stop at McDonald's, but there's no time to eat because they have to go visit their friend Kelsey before they go to the party, take a look at her new house. Well, so they stop by McDonald's. They rush through the drive-thru. They get to her house, and they're so hungry. They're about to munch down on their McTreats, their McGoodies, their McJones. But John number 2, overly politically correct boy, stops them and says, no, first, guys, you have to take a tour of my new house with me. So they were so hungry, but they put the food down, and they started to take the tour. And as they took the tour, it was so boring. John number 2, overly politically correct boy, all he could do was talk about himself. And as they took a tour, they were freezing because he had to keep the house at 61 degrees at all times because it saved money and it saved energy. Oh, the poor planet. We must conserve our energy. So they were taking the tour, and her stomach even started to grumble as he was talking about his nature group. So they're in the basement freezing. He's like, well, my nature group likes to do leaf etchings, and her tummy grumbles. She's so hungry. And he looks down at her tummy like that was rude. And she's sorry. The tour continued, and oh, Karen was so hungry. She started to think of all her yummy food freezing up there, turning into a McIcicle on the kitchen counters. But the tour continued and continued as he talked on. Did you know I can juggle? Who cared? Oh, she was so hungry. She was starving. The tour ended an hour and a half later. Then hour and a half later, people, the tour ended and they went back to the kitchen. And guess what they should find? Her wonderful, scrumptious McDonald's food is being eaten by John number 2's evil cat. Oh, the cat was munching and licking at her hamburger, her wonderful hamburger, raped and sodomized and pillaged and ravaged by the beast cat. But did he apologize for his cat? No. John number 2 just looked at Karen and said, you shouldn't have kept your food on my kitchen counter. And then the cat couldn't have reached it. And Karen was like, what? Anyway, so she scooped up her food and she started to wrap it back up to throw it away. Wouldn't you? I know I would. Cat piss and lick all over my food. He was like, what are you doing? She said, I'm throwing it away. He goes, I am a vegetarian, and my waste basket is vegetarian, and you're not going to use it to throw away poor dead animal products. And she said, well, where do you want me to put it? He said, I don't know. Not my problem, but I'm a vegetarian, and I'm not going to have you stinking up my beautiful home of meat, of carrion, of rotting, ravaged meat. And she said, well, I'm not going to eat it. He goes, what? I can't believe you're not going to eat this. I'm a vegetarian, but I am quite offended that you would waste food. Karen, honey, baby, don't you smooth silk? Don't you know all the starving people of the world? No, don't tell me you're going to throw away perfectly good meat. And she said, your cat has been eating it and licking it. My sanitary expectations are not being met here. I'm not going to eat something that an animal was licking. He goes, well, that's wastrel. I'll eat it. Fine, give it to me. And the martyr, like Joan of Arc, like the grand martyr of the world, he grabbed her half-chewed up hamburger that his cat had chewed up, and even though he's a vegetarian, he started to eat the meat. Oh, he was going to win the Oscar for Martyr of the Year, people. Karen couldn't believe her eyes, but still, her value system was not going to be interrupted. She would not give in to his wicked peer pressure. Oh, the martyr, John number 2. Overly politically correct boy started to eat the hamburger, and he looked like he was going to upchuck it as he was trying to chew it. Like Joan of Arc burning at the stake. And finally, John number 1, the nice John. Karen's friend said, I'll eat it. I don't mind. I'm not a vegetarian. I'll eat it. I've eaten grosser things before. And once he took away the platform, he took away overly politically correct boys' use of good martyrdom and drama. The best revenge. And to Karen, from Cyberland to you, Karen, I miss you, baby. I miss drawing with you. And next time you come on vacation, you have to draw the world, the cyber world, us, friends of Snackboy. We need your pictures. We'll look your light.